long in Guam's tropical night. As its inhabitants slumbered, lemon filled the air, and a woman emerged from the forest at the base of the mountain. Her footfalls were as soundless as shadows as she followed the path towards the settlement. Few stirred as she passed their houses, stepped upon the beach, and followed its sloping sands into the ocean. She was Guam's Fragrant Lady, and this is Legends from the Pacific. Aloha, Hafa Adai, and thank you for joining us. This is Legends from the Pacific, episode 64, Guam's Fragrant Lady. I am Kamuala Kaneshiro, a native Hawaiian, professional writer, speaker, and Comic-Con panelist with extensive film and television experience. I study mythology, I've encountered unusual things, and I'm a geek. You can support us by getting 2 or 3 of your friends to listen to our show. This simple request goes a long way in helping us grow our show. Before getting into things, I wanted to share that my family experienced a sudden and unexpected passing, which is why this episode is late. Now, funerals in Hawaii take longer than normal because our loved ones need to coordinate their work and travel schedules to get to Hawaii. That being said, it's not unheard of for things to take several weeks or longer. I almost skipped making this week's episode, and while I know other podcasts replay old episodes or go on hiatus, I feel you, our fans who support our show and help it grow, deserve better. I'm also a firm believer that the show must go on. So, I shall do my best to continue producing new episodes and ask for your understanding. I apologize in advance if the episodes I produce for you during this challenging period are late, run short, or I miss a week. While I strive to reduce the 20 hours it takes to produce one of our episodes, they still take a lot of time, and I'm a one-person operation. Thank you for allowing me some time to catch you up with things. Once again, thank you very much for your understanding and continued support of our show. Later in this episode, your featured song and Hawaiian word. This episode finds us returning to Guam. Little is known about the woman known as the Fragrant Lady. Why does she walk down from the mountains into the waters to bathe? It also seems her location is a mystery since people have seen her in at least 2 places. One is a place called Nimitz Beach. The other is a boat basin. Something interesting about the boat basin's name is that in Chamorro it means blood. And while it may seem easy to say this is probably where she frequents, I'd be hesitant to say this was true, since a lot of things about the spiritual being is unknown. The following is a Legends from the Pacific original story and is based on cultural records. He knew the stories of the mysterious lemon-scented woman. Her familiar citrus scent woke him many times from his blissful slumber. While others accepted this, the man's curiosity was too great, and he decided to meet the mysterious woman. He moved his bed beside the window where the lemon scent should be strongest and went to sleep. Nights passed. Then, one particular night, the strong lemon scent woke him. He glanced outside, but no one was there. He looked towards the ocean, And there, at the edge of town, walked the mysterious woman. Her dress shimmered like the moonlit rippling ocean, and her long black hair streamed behind her. Even though the night was so dead, candles maintained an unchallenged, steady flame. She stepped onto the beach as he ran to her. She was on the damp sand as he powered through the dry, loose sand. A wave broke and rolled towards her feet. Salt air and lemon filled his lungs as he reached for her. Clouds concealed the moon, and she vanished. He fell face first into the rolling surf, scanned the darkened area, but she was gone. He returned home, dried off, and waited for her along the path. The clouds gathered, and he hoped it wouldn't rain. Rubbing his tired eyes, a chill prickled his skin, signaling the coming dawn. Struggling as sleep bobbed his head, lemon-filled air awoke his senses. Wide-eyed, he searched the path, but couldn't find her. The scent faded, and he ran up the path towards the mountain. The scent returned. Scattered clouds dotted the sky as the woman approached the forest. He bolted towards her, but as she entered the wooded area, the sun broke the horizon, and she vanished. You can help support our show, enjoy unaired monthly stories, and other nifty benefits by becoming a Legends from the Pacific Patreon supporter. Your financial support helps us improve our show, but mainly keeps us going. So join us and become a Legends from the Pacific Patreon supporter. As of this recording, all of our funding goes directly into our show, and I have yet to receive any type of payment. Today, there are still reports of the lemon-scented woman, even though she remains unknown. While I always like to include history and culture in our episodes, I feel this story marks our first story-heavy episode. But let me know what you thought, and don't forget to send me your unusual Asian and Pacific experiences to be shared on future episodes. I have an experience that possibly involved a scented ghost that will be this month's exclusive story for our Patreon supporters. It's similar to this episode in the sense that there isn't much known about the entity, but it regularly occurs and has been experienced by many. Ghosts that smell like flowers are interesting, especially if they're near graveyards, because how can you tell if what you're smelling is flowers or a ghost? A friend lived beside an old graveyard, and strange things happened a few times while I visited. I couldn't rely on my sensitivity to the paranormal because of the house and graveyard, and I'm not sure if a flower-scented ghost was there, but let me just say, while it was nice, hanging out outside smelling the flowers in the still of the night, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was always lurking just at the edge of our peripheral vision. If you feel our show deserves 5 stars, please give us that rating. Write a review, and share Legends from the Pacific with your friends and family. I'd really appreciate it. Our theme song is Mystery by Tavana, courtesy of High Sessions. Sound effects are by Sound Effects Factory. Our music coordinator is Matt Duffy, aka DJ Triple Bypass. Links and show notes can be found on our website, legendsfromthepacific.com, including a link to your featured song, which is Maui Under Moonlight by Mark Yamanaka, courtesy of High Sessions. Legends from the Pacific was written, produced, and edited by me, Kamuela Kaneshiro. I also wrote our original stories. Your featured Hawaiian word is oli oli. Oli oli means shimmering. An example of oli oli is, it's always nice seeing light oli oli on the ocean's surface. Once again, oli oli is Hawaiian for shimmering. Thank you once again for listening. Mahalo and a hui ho.
silhouettes of the palm trees.